Expect a dramatic finish in our NASCAR Busch Series race tonight on TNT, and we'll have more drama for you after. Stay with us. Conspiracy theory on the East Coast, an executive decision on the West Coast. Scott Riggs is leading Greg Biffle, Jason Keller, John Wood, and Scott Wimmer at lap 125 of 200.
And these cars are getting in some traffic, pretty doggone heavy traffic. Ben Carl, that's Casey Mears going a lap down. There you see the 66 car.
Casey's back in 22nd place. How about the leader, Glenn?
Well, I'm in Scott Riggs' pits. We're looking at Harold Holly as he watches the car right now. But the thing I want to point out, guys, they're pretty happy with the car right now. Look at this little guy right here. This is NASCAR Sam. Now, back in Nashville at the first race, Scott Riggs met NASCAR Sam. NASCAR Sam gave him this photo. Said, Scott, the last guy I gave this picture to, or a picture to, won the race. Scott took the picture, takes it to his dash, picked up a win at Nashville. Now he puts it on his car somewhere in the pits every week. That's his good luck charm, his rabbit foot. I know that Scott Riggs is happy with his car right now. NASCAR Sam is happy. Harold Holly's happy. I feel pretty good. How do you feel, Benny?
I feel great. Tony, you feel great?
I'm feeling real good. And as a matter of fact, NASCAR Sam interviewed me after I left the media center today at the Brickyard for getting the pole and gave me the same picture, autographed it for me, and he told me, he goes, put this in your dash and you'll win tomorrow. So I can promise you we're going to have it in our car.
NASCAR Sam, is that the young kid?
I told there were a bunch of media guys around when I did the interview with him, and I bet he's only 4 years old. And I was more intimidated doing an interview with Sam than I was with any of the veteran media guys around the Winston Cup Series. The kid knows more about Winston Cup racing. He'll probably has forgot more than I know about it already.
Check out this race for 7th. 59 car. I checked that. That's for 13th place. That's the race for 7th. Ron Hornaday and Johnny Sauter.
And Hornaday is still out there. Hasn't changed tires yet.
He has been on pit road.
He has been on pit road. He's fueled up, but
haven't changed tires. That is a strategy that is not proving to be a favorable one.
No.
Remember, Hornaday led. He gave up the lead at lap 95 to Scott Riggs, and now he is here tussling for 7th spot with Johnny Sauter.
All right, Tony, what do you think? Who's got the best car here and the best line?
Well, I think Sauter might have the better car, but I think Hornaday has the better line right now. He's able to keep Johnny just pinched down just enough that he can't get that big run off the corner, and he's making him having to keep tugging on the steering wheel coming up off where he can't get all the way out to the wall and let it have its head. But no more than I say that, I get proved wrong again.
Well, I think right now that you're right, Sauter is a better race car because he has fresher tires on the AC Delco car. But next year when Johnny Sauter comes with that 2 car, he'll lean more on that car on the outside going in the corner. He will not give him so much room and make passing a little bit easier, don't you think?
Absolutely. But he's learning a lot this year. I mean, he has struggled quite a bit, but getting that first win under his belt, that's a big confidence boost.
Check it out, 4th place. John Wood in the 9 trying to defend from Scott Wimmer in the 23. Little lap traffic mixed in there.
Chad Chapman in the 16 car.
And John Wood just can't get past that 16 using that low line. They've been hung like this for a couple of laps now.
He finally makes it.
Great run for Scott Wimmer, Ralph.
Well, that it is, Alan. I talked to his crew chief, Robert Barker, just a little bit. Scott isn't exactly saying a whole lot. We asked him about their strategy, and Booty Barker just turned back at us and said, you know, I don't know. I'm pretty much making it up as I go along.
And, folks, understand that Robert and Booty and Robin is all the same person.
Yeah.
They call it everything in the world. He said, I'd rather be called Booty, but Robert's okay. Robin's okay.
Scott Wimmer ran here last year for Bill Davis. He didn't fare all that well, but he's having a great night tonight so far. 65 laps to go. Got 17 cars on the lead lap, and still watching this great race for 4th and 5th. This is for 13th place, Hamilton Jr. and Stacy Compton. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 25 and Compton in the 59.
They've been able to put a couple of car links on Todd Bodine, who's back in the 15th. There you see the red-white car on the very right of your screen. Love red and white cars in that shot. All right, here we go. Wimmer takes that spot away.
So Scott goes up into 4th place. John Wood kicks back to 5th. You see Kevin LePage's car back on the speedway after he was involved in the big 6-car wreck that put us under the red flag in lap 63.
And I talked to Kevin LePage before the race, and he was really excited. We see about this car tonight. Greg Biffle trying to work through some traffic. That's Mike Wallace, the Geico car on the outside. Like he's been able to get by the 40 of Brian Vickers. Casey Kane, your 98 car is going a lap down. Tony?
Got Casey's back in 20th place. Mike Wallace in 18th, Brian Vickers in 19th. Now the first car is 1 lap down. And still Jason Keller running behind Greg Biffle. He had the lead earlier in the race, Keller did, when Biffle slipped on a restart, but had a problem on his pit stop. Back at lap 63, lost that track position, and he hasn't been able to make it up. And, you know, Keller just can't keep running 1 or 2 places behind Biffle every week if he's going to win this championship.
No, you can't catch him that way.
Starting to wonder if the handle hasn't started to go away from the 57 car. He was really strong early, and it seems like his entry's a little lower. He's higher in the center, and he's a lot lower coming up off.
Sure, you talked about Kenny Wallace running really great here at IRP earlier, Tony. Jason Keller's stat sheet at this track is unbelievable. In 8 races at this racetrack, he's finished all but 10 possible laps, and all 10 came in 1 race. 7 of his 8 races he's finished on the lead lap. Last 3 years, 1st, 5th, and 5th.
That's pretty impressive here because there's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of things that can go wrong, especially in lap traffic too.
As we've seen tonight already.
Don't you wish your record at the Brickyard was like that? A win and 2 5ths in the last 3 years.
Absolutely. We'll try to cure that tomorrow.
There you go. It'll be big. That's for sure. If you do.
I just don't know where we're going to hold the party if we win this thing. I don't know if we're going to have it in Columbus, Indiana, or Rushville, Indiana. We might have to have 2 of them.
Yeah, you got 2 adopted hometowns, right?
Well, I actually grew up in Columbus, Indiana. I was born and raised there, graduated from Columbus North High School, and then moved in with Larry Martz and his family in Rushville, Indiana, and only lived there a year and a half, but the whole town adopted me in my racing, and was on a radio show Mondays and Fridays and recapped everything that we did with the midgets and sprint cars. So really proud to call both Columbus and Rushville, and they've both been very good to us.
So am I supposed to call you the Rushville Rocket or the Columbus Comet?
I don't know. We can fly the rocket around the Comet. I don't know. We'll figure something out there.
Okay. Bahama, North Carolina's Scott Riggs is the leader here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. 55 laps to go. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. Check out our Napa Field summary here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Drivers who've led tonight include Greg Biffle, Jason Keller, Jamie McMurray, Ron Hornaday, and your present leader, pictured there in the 10 cars, Scott Riggs. 10 cars out of the race, mostly due to 2 accidents, a 6-car pileup, and then another 3-car pileup that claimed about all of those machines.
And you see the 7-car, Randy LaJoy, has gone a lap down, and Jack Sprague, the Net Zero car, in jeopardy of doing the same. Here comes Riggs on the inside of Jack. Man, that 10 car is so impressive tonight. Harold Holly and his guys have done a bang-up job.
And the thing that I've been noticing the last couple laps is watching Scott. He's not going clear down to the line quite as often unless he has to. But even when he does, he carries so much speed across the corner. He lets it have its head like he did there. And then he turns the car and gets back in the gas. So he's running the car way down in there. And he's carrying so much speed to the center. That's where he's getting the distance. And then gets it turned and gets it right back in the gas.
How about it for Jack Sprague? He was the championship leader going into the Daytona race at the beginning of July, and things have just gone south for him ever since. Got in a wreck late in that Daytona race, then had an engine problem the following week at Chicago, came back with a 4th place finish at St. Louis, but last week at Colorado and this week at Indy, they have just not been on the pace at all. And that has dropped Jack 219 points behind Greg Biffle to 3rd spot, a distant 3rd in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship.
sixth position, Sauter, the 2-car, trying to take it away from 48 of Kenny Wallace, and pretty good contest.
Remember, Kevin Harvick won this race last year driving for that team. Richard Childress is number 2.
Ooh. See a little contact between those 2 cars. Sauter came off the corner a little bit loose. Well, I was told there was contact. It wasn't there, but maybe it's down here. No.
Guess not. Well, he made the pass anyway. So Johnny by Kenny Wallace, and Johnny started the race in 19th position. You can see the scoring serial there. He just kicked his way forward. How about Kenny Wallace's car, Ralph?
Well, there's quite a bit of conversations about what Kenny Wallace is going to do next year. Kenny told me today he is definitely going to the Winston Cup division next season, and he is taking the sponsor you see on the car tonight, Stacker 2, with me. Now, he cannot confirm exactly where he is going next season. There are some rumors of that, but the deal is not completed, so Kenny can't release that information just yet. I also spoke to his Busch car owner, George Devidard, about that, because there was a lot of conversations that there was a lot of bad feelings about Kenny leaving and taking Stacker with him. George said everything is fine. We've worked it all out. We're going racing together from here to the end of the season. Kenny and I will remain friends out of all this.
And Kenny Wallace right now running in 7th place after having started the event right there in 7th spot.
That's Larry Foyt in the 14 car that both those cars went by. The A.J. Foyt's son.
Larry was out at the big track yesterday. Larry's day job, if you will, besides being the driver of this one and the appearances he does for their sponsor Harris, he's the manager of A.J. Foyt's Winston Cup and Busch Series racing operations. So he's running the business office for that shop during the week. He asked me if I wanted a job. He said it's trying to drive and run the business of those 2 race teams is a lot to handle.
Yes, that is a bit much.
Yep.
Well, I can promise you, I've driven for A.J. Foyt in the Silver Crown Series. He's not the easiest guy to work for, so to manage 2 race teams plus drive and satisfy the sponsors, he's got a heck of a load on his shoulders.
Tony Raines in the 33 car moving up. That car in the news headlines. Remember last week at Pikes Peak on the opening lap of the race, someone made a mistake in their preparation of the car, and all the lead in the frame rail of that car came out onto the racetrack. I talked with Raines and team owner Bill Bumgardner about the situation this week. They were quite embarrassed. There was disciplinary action taken against the team by NASCAR, including the fine and suspension of crew chief Michael Kedlesic, who's out until August 21st because of that. The crew chief responsible for the parts and the preparation of his race car. Team owner Bill Bumgardner was not pleased and quite embarrassed about the situation.
Jason Mears in the pits. Ralph?
Well, then he had a problem with a flat right front tire, so they're going to take advantage of it and just change all 4 tires. He brushed the wall down in turn number 2. That's where he got the flat right front.
Yeah, I can see the pancake the flat right side.
Leader Scott Riggs in some pretty heavy traffic. He's just gotten around Todd Bodine, put the 14th place car a lap down. 39 laps to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park.